Hey, what's up, Runners Flat, Running Village? Want to take you through a little spike tutorial. It's track season, and a lot of times we get people in the store looking at spikes, but they come up and they say, oh, you know, I really like the colors on this one. Can I have this? Well, it depends what event you're in, right? And so what we're going to kind of roll you through is the differences in sprint spikes versus middle distance versus distance, so you're buying the right spikes. If you're a distance runner and you want to buy a distance spike for track and then use that for cross country, or you want to use a cross country spike for distance races and track, that's totally doable, and a lot of people do that one way or the other. But you definitely don't want to be running the 2 mile indoors in a sprint spike unless you're totally up on your toes, which most of us aren't. Okay, so let's roll you through. This is a Nike, basic entry-level pricing sprint spike. What you'll see here on this is that there's no heel pad. This is set up for someone that when they're sprinting is essentially going to be up on their toes, and so there's no pad here. And even if you do hit your heel, it's 100 meters or 200 meters or maybe 400 meters. Shouldn't do a lot of damage to you, okay? The spike plate here extends a little bit past the arch. What they're doing with that is predominantly $60 or $65 entry-level sprint spike used to stop the spike plate right here. So what you have is a nice spike plate here for traction, but the shoe would just bend right in the middle in half. Because that extends there, when you flex that, you'll get a little bit of pop. So even the $65 spikes are getting nicer for people. When people come in and they see this and they see $120, okay? This is the Superfly R4. What you'll see here is that sprint spike plate goes all the way to the heel. So what you get is a very stiff, very reactive sprint spike, but you're paying almost twice the money for it. This is what people run the Olympics in, and essentially anyone that's getting real serious about the 100 meters or the 200 meters might hop in something like this so that they get a little more pop. They're losing less energy from a shoe that just really kind of bends in half. All right, that's a sprint spike. Then we'll move you to a middle distance spike. What you'll see on a middle distance spike a lot of times is that spike plate comes back and there might be a cutout through the arch, so there's not so much cushion or support through there, but you'll have a little bit of a heel. There's a little pad in this pink rubber on this, and what that gives you is a little protection if you're running the 800 mile, 2 mile, and or essentially you probably wouldn't want to run a middle distance spike in cross country. So as you're running those events, you have a little bit more protection on the heel, but still set up with a spike plate that's very similar to that sprint spike we saw earlier in the middle distance. This is actually a pretty cool. ASICS came out with a new fast lap. It's $90, and it's their MD is what they're calling it, middle distance. You'll see that spike plate, hard plastic, all the way through the center of that shoe, all the way to the heel, with a little bit of traction, sitting on top of a little piece of rubber cushion there. This is actually for $90, I think, a very good middle distance spike, because what you're getting is a shoe that really pops. So someone in the 800 that wants to be really efficient, hopefully be up on your toes most of the time, with a little protection if you need it. It's there, but it's not going to be super slippery like running in a full-pledged high-end sprint spike. Does that make sense? A little traction here on the heel. All right? Then move you into the distance stuff, and essentially what you get in a distance spike here is a shoe that's got some cushion underneath. This would be a great cross-country shoe. Spike plate on the front, doesn't extend back, so you're not getting the pop from it, but you're getting a nice smooth shoe that's got some cushioning, so it feels like you're running smooth and you're not pounding or slapping. Some of the other ones, very similar. It's got heel, it's got rubber all the way through. Okay, that's going to be another distance spike. All of them comes in different shapes and sizes. ASICS, the long distance, hyper LD, hyper long distance. So you'll see a difference in that versus this, which would be your middle distance spike. What you're doing with that, when they cut that out, is it cuts out a little bit of weight, and however, though, takes away a little bit of the cushion or protection that you have. So that's essentially what you need to decide. Middle distance would really be probably 800 meters to mile. Some kids will run the 2 mile and be totally fine in that. But if you're talking about going everywhere from the mile through the 5K cross country, I would definitely go with a distance spike. Clear as mud. Good luck in track this season. Stay tuned.